Meat feeds histamine-producing bacteria in your gut. This is the part people don't understand. When you consume meat, you're actually growing the bacteria in your gut that produce histamine. And you think, oh, wow, I'm on a low histamine diet and I'm eating mostly meat and vegetables and plants. I got to avoid the plants that contain histamine. But the reality is the plants actually feed the bacteria that degrade histamine. While you're eating more and more meat, you think you're doing a good job, but the reality is you keep feeding the lactobacillus community, the other bacteria that produce histamine. And you end up in a giant cycle. So you can ask yourself, what is the food that I'm eating? How is it actually feeding the bacterial community in my gut? What community is being fed? And if you eat things like resistant starch, plants, apples, things like that, it feeds the bifidobacterium. It feeds the lactobacillus rhamnosus, the lactobacillus plantarum, the things that actually degrade histamine, that break down histamine, that produce GABA, that produce serotonin, the things that calm down the immune system, that produce short-chain fatty acids, the things that actually calm down the mast cells. This is the thing people are missing. You got to think about what you're feeding when you eat this food, okay? What bacterial community am I feeding? And if you keep eating meat over and over again, you're going to be stuck in a cycle where you keep feeding the community of bacteria that produce inflammation, and they produce inflammatory molecules. And this is the cycle people are caught in. The reality is you got to feed the bifidobacterium, the bacteria I mentioned earlier. You got to feed the bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, that calm down the immune system, that help the regulatory T cells increase. This is how you develop immune tolerance. This is how your body starts to increase regulatory T cells. This is how you calm down your mast cells, okay? If you keep on eating meat over and over again, you're going to feed the wrong bacteria. You're just going to feed them. And this is what's going to be a giant cycle. You got to escape the loop. Escape the loop here. Feed the community of bacteria in your gut that are going to help you heal, not the ones that are going to make you sick in the long run. And this is why people who eat mostly meat end up with histamine intolerance, mast cell activation, eczema issues in the future. It could be 6 months later. They could go away originally, but then eventually it comes. It increases because they keep building the community of bacteria that produce the histamine. Look into this. This is not a theory. This is backed by scientific studies. Put it into ChatGPT. You'll see I'm right, okay? All the people out there promoting meat to recover from histamine intolerance do not understand the actual science behind it, and they've never beat it themselves. They're not eating anything that they want now and completely tolerant to it like me, okay? Reach out to me if you need some help.